And if you just take a step back and look at what's happened and has been unfolding, it becomes really crystal clear that this trend of de-dollarization is real.
Russia and China officially announced a, quote, new global reserve currency. That's been a long time of brewing. There's been signs and signals and body posturing and pre-positioning that's been happening for a long time in this regards. And in the past, when any countries of the world have attempted to trade significantly in certain commodities and so on outside the US dollar, they've usually gotten smacked. But Russia and China announcing a new global reserve currency is even a bolder step because that affects all global trade potentially. So could you talk to us about what you've been warning us for months and months and months, years actually, and how this proves that it's playing out?
Yeah, when you have ideas and bring them forth to people, let alone to the internet, and they materialize, it's a weird feeling. And, it's not about being a soothsayer. It's not even about being lucky and making a call. If you just take a step back and look at what's happened and has been unfolding, it becomes really crystal clear that this trend of de-dollarization is real. If we go back and look at Saudi Arabia and Russia's joint military cooperation agreement announcement the day after we left Afghanistan in September of last year, 2021, and then the day after that, that same announcement being brought forth between Russia and Nigeria. And then the day after that, to your point, Russia says to the world in a Zero Hedge article that I read, we have outfitted all of our nuclear-powered submarines with hypersonic ICBM missiles. The State Department came out almost immediately saying, this is a technology we're very concerned about. We do not have it. Look, when Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi both threatened to sell their oil for gold or for euro or for whatever other currency that was not the dollar, there were repercussions. And to your point, I do not think it would be wise to go and try and seek some sort of retribution against Saudi Arabia or Nigeria, both of which are being protected by Russia. And let's not forget Nigeria being part of the Belt Road Initiative and just the coalition of the BRICS nations. You're bringing in China into the mix too. This is something that will not follow the same script that Iraq and Libya did, to your point. And, it was validation to me at some point a few weeks ago when Nigeria came out and said, yes, we've decided to sell our oil for the yuan-denominated bond, which, by the way, remember, is immediately convertible into gold on the Shanghai Gold Exchange. And it was also very obvious that Iran decided to join the BRICS nations because, look, you want to beat U.S. sanctions? What better way to do it than to sell your oil to China for a yuan-denominated bond that is immediately convertible into gold on the Shanghai Gold Exchange, the only other tier one reserve asset, that being gold. And you're seeing this progression of countries moving away from dollar settlement. We've talked all about it. It's becoming very obvious when you see countries like India, who were their largest trading partners, settling all domestic trades now in rupee. When you're seeing these trades that always were dollar-centric moving away, when you see the Belt Road Initiative, which is settling on the digital yuan, not settling on the dollar, these markers along the highway of de-dollarization are becoming more and more and more and more obvious. And the coup de grace, I guess you could say, is, well, there's two. The first one was Saudi Arabia saying, well, we're thinking of joining the BRICS nations. To me, there is no thinking. When you say that, that's a soft, kind of the soft letdown. It's coming. And they don't just say that, throw that out into the ether to not do it. And if you think, at least my opinion is, that Biden flew, who hasn't even been to the Mexican-Texas border, if you think he flew to Saudi Arabia just to ask them to pump a little bit more oil, I think you're mistaken. I think he went there begging to have Saudi Arabia reconsider this decision to, well, maybe we're going to join the BRICS nations. And when you see the two big linchpins of the BRICS nations come out and say, we are going to formulate a world reserve currency, flat out, we're going to formulate a world reserve currency, which is another way of saying to challenge the dollar for its hegemony. And then you take a step back and realize, what did Saudi Arabia just say? What is Nigeria already doing? You're talking the linchpin. You're talking the key to the dollar hegemony is this close from being broken. And this is what I'm going to be talking about in my presentations at this conference today. Excuse me, where the world is breaking away from the dollar. And if you pull the petrol reserve status, I think it becomes something that goes from an interesting news story into something that becomes truly concerning and should be. And I guess all of this boils down to, in my mind, the fact that the Federal Reserve and their jawboning and lip service is nothing but a sideshow on the road to global de-dollarization.
And in the face of that, we've got a special. We got to give you time to let everybody know what the special is.
Yeah, look, I want people to know that we sell gold, right? I mean, we sell gold. It's been, I think, in the last year or two, you and I have done one, maybe two specials on gold, and they centered around the pre-33 circulated coins. When I find them really inexpensively, I want to bring those to the public. We're sticking still with a similar theme of silver, and now some sovereign issued 2022 Austrian Vienna Philharmonics for $4.50 over the price of silver, which is ironically the best price I've seen them at in at least probably 2 years. I want people to know that in the end, I believe gold is really the place that they want to be. And I say that because of its tier one revision and of the big money accumulating gold. But at a 90 plus, 92, 93 to 1 ratio, silver is the most undervalued asset on the planet. And it continues to offer potential that I don't think you find anywhere else in the world where asset prices have been so distorted. So, yeah, we're going to do the 2022 Vienna Philharmonic silver coin at $4.50 over the price of silver, and in stock, ready to go. And we'll keep trying to bring good value to the market, to your listeners, out of distinct and great appreciation for all their nice comments, and not kicking me off the channel with, I've heard that before. So look, I have a bad habit, I guess. Maybe it's not such a bad habit of saying the same things, but you can start to see the things that I've been saying for the past year and a half on your show are truly beginning to come true, and in a way that I never would have believed. So protect your family while you can. Start to mitigate your exposure to the dollar like the rest of the world, like the biggest money in the world is doing. They are divesting of dollars, and it's time for people to realize that this is a pathway to do the exact same thing if they haven't done it already.